systems. This is on page 154. And GIS depends on proper use and definition of coordinate systems. Coordinate system is a reference framework, uses points, lines, and surfaces to determine positions in 2 or 3-dimensional space. In simpler terms, helps you to find your way around a map. Defining a coordinate system is essential to every GIS mapping project. All coordinate systems are based on coordinate pairs that belong to geographic grid. On a globe, locations on Earth's surface are defined in reference to lines of parallels and meridians, more commonly known as latitude and longitude. Remember those from earlier class?
Those from third grade.
Third grade, yeah. Latitude lines run parallel to the equator at 0 degrees latitude and measure how far north or south you are from the equator. Longitude lines run from pole to pole, measure how far east or west you are from the prime meridian. Meridian of 0 degrees longitude passes through Greenwich, England. Interesting. I remember why it passes through Greenwich, England? Greenwich, however you said. Why does it pass through, why is it 0 degrees there?
Because it's the prime meridian and it's 0.
I'm guessing it has something to do with politics. One point in time, the British ruled Earth. Just guessing. Now, latitude and longitude are measurements of angles, not of distance. Latitude is the angle between the equator and the parallel on which point you are located lies, as measured from the center of the Earth. Longitude is the angle between the prime meridian and meridian at which the point you're locating lies, as measured from the center of the Earth. And they show you this picture here. So your latitude is 40 degrees. What is that? Dash. This single quote. Not dash, single quote. Minutes. How about the 2? Seconds. North of the equator, and they show you the angle there. And they also show you the 80 degrees opening up here. And that's the longitude. East of the prime meridian. And prime meridian, remember, passes through England, right? So I guess everything in latitude, longitude is based upon, well, not everything, but half of it's based upon England. So, let's see. Earth is divided in 360 degrees around the equator. Starting from the prime meridian, longitude values go to 180 degrees eastward and to 180 degrees, negative 180 degrees westward. If you saw that in a math class, remember how you went from one direction, it was positive, but then you go the other direction, it's negative? A little bit different than maybe what you're used to if you had taught in a math class. Because in the math class, if you went this direction, it would be a negative angle. If you went this direction, it'd be a positive angle. Because latitude and longitude are angles, their values are commonly expressed in degrees, minutes, seconds, or sometimes as decimal degrees. So instead of having your minutes and seconds, you have decimal. Latitude and longitude are the basis of a geographic coordinate system, so forth. Coordinate systems and projections are based on defined spheroid and datum. A spheroid, also known as an ellipsoid, is a mathematical model that approximates the irregular shape of the Earth using 2 axes. Because the Earth bulges at the equator as a result of the Earth's rotation, the model uses a major axis dissecting the equator and a minor axis dissecting poles. The relationship between the shape of the Earth and the shape of the spheroid is described using a datum, which essentially describes how a model fits into reality. Um, I don't think that's too exciting. Skip down to here. Map projection is used to represent the Earth on a flat surface. In more technical terms, math formulas are applied to geographic coordinate systems defined by a spheroid and datum to convert latitude and longitude values to a plane surface representing a geographic grid. The result is a two-dimensional surface that's composed of a grid of intersecting lines. What do we? Can you see the 3D on the standard computer?
Well, I mean,
You can make it that way.
It displays
Right.
3D on the
Is it really 3D?
No.
No. There's mathematics behind it. A lot of it's called like a projective geometry and so forth. It's where you're taking two dimensions and you're creating a three-dimensional view, or vice versa. And so that's what part of this is talking about. When you're dealing with maps and so forth, we're thinking two dimensions. That's what we see it on our screen, but it's really based upon three dimensions, isn't it? So, over on page 157, a projected coordinate system is a system that defines locations on a flat map based on XY coordinates. The XY coordinates of any given point depend on the map projection. If Cairo is made to center of the map, for example, its XY coordinates would be 0, 0. Thus, the number of possible projected coordinate systems is infinite. Keep in mind that not all data will or must be projected, but it must have a geographic coordinate system. To understand how certain map projections work, you also need to know how geometric objects are used to construct a flat map. Imagine a piece of paper being shaped to fit against a lighted globe in three configurations: a cylinder, a cone, and a flat plane. And it says, see the graphic. Cylindrical projection is possible when a cylinder is used. Conic projection when a cone is used, and azimuthal. How do you say that word? Remember? Azimuthal? Projection when a flat plane is used. Okay. And then they talk about some more projections done over here. Transverse, cylindrical, secant, conic, polar, azimuthal, methyl. Down here, they talk about the transformation of the Earth's surface to a flat surface is inherently not perfect and causes distortion to shape, area, distance, or direction. If you ever take a model, like a 3D model, like in Blender or something like that, and you unwrap the face, it looks really weird. Have you seen that before? Yeah, that's what they're talking about. It's never gonna be perfect. Then they talk about to counter distortion, map projections can be grouped in four types of preserved properties. Conformal projections will preserve shape, conforms to it.
It's just azimuth.
The what?
It's azimuth.
Really? Is that how you said? Azimuth?
Yeah, that's what it.
No, I thought it was spelled different. Equal area projections, which display an area at its proper relative size. Equidistance projections, which preserve scale and thus distance. And azimuthal? What'd you say?
Azimuthal.
Azimuthal. Okay. Or true direction projections which maintain accurate directions.
All it shows is the base word. The original doesn't have a recording for some reason.
Oh. Now here you have the different map projections. The Mercator projection. You see that there. That's where you got a completely flat Earth, huh? Because that's where you sail off and you drop off the map. There you go. It's been proven now. Then you got this. It tries to simulate that so you can see a little bit better picture of what it would look like in a sense that, hey, yeah, it does go round. And then this breakdown here. They talk about some exciting history of where that's been used at and so forth. Okay, so now we're to page 160, and it's talking about projecting data in ArcMap. So we're going to work with some of that. It says ArcMap is able to handle an infinite number of map projections, both predefined and customized, to give you most flexibility in working with your data sets. Your data will be the unprojected or projected. Unprojected data means that it's simply stored in a defined geographical coordinate system, such as WGS 84 with latitude and longitude coordinate values. Let's see. Projected data means that a map projection has been applied to your data set. Common projections using ArcMap are a state plane and universal transverse Mercator systems. The state plane coordinate system divides each state into manageable regions. You can locate the coordinate system of a data set in Arc Catalog in a description tab. Give you its metadata. You can also find it in Arc Catalog on the Features Property dialog box. That's probably not fun definitions. Okay, so let's start at page 164. And this is exercise 6A, examining coordinate systems. And step 1, we want to start Arc Catalog. Now you should see over here your catalog tree. If not, you can probably go to is there a window? Window catalog tree, if you don't see it. We want to go down to chapter 6 and expand that. And specifically, we want to keep going until we get to the data folder. And then we want to click the usstates.lyr. Then click the Preview tab. Now it says the U.S. states is symbolized using a color map, shows the change in population per square mile in the last decade. Light green for smaller increases, dark green for larger increases. It's interesting. You can understand Florida, Texas increasing, right?
Yeah.
What is this country over here in the east? The dark green one. My mouse is circling. Is that North Carolina? I'm not sure why North Carolina is increasing. Colorado's increasing.
Nevada's increasing.
Nevada.
Arizona.
I don't know why those are increasing.
Yeah.
There's really nothing in those states besides the desert, it seems like. But yeah, well, maybe that's.
Georgia's increasing.
Georgia, yeah. Now it's interesting. This talks about the increase here. Shows change in population per square mile in the last decade. Does it really say anything about percentage or actual numbers? No. So it's probably percentage. Because do you think a lot of people are moving to Alaska? No. So it's probably a percent change. And if you only have 50,000 people in the first place, well, then if you have a change, it can be larger. So you have to be careful about interpretation of some of these.
Yeah, because New York's a lighter color than Alaska.
yeah, because I'm guessing that in terms of the actual population count, New York is a lot larger than Alaska. Why would Alaska even be increasing?
Retired old folks going out there.
That could be.
Same reason you want to go to Alaska.
Yeah, get away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah, I don't know the reason behind it. Could be the oil. Maybe they're really getting a lot more oil out of there.
Probably not. I mean, it's more of a gold state.
He just immediately did one. Probably not.
I don't know. I don't know the reason.
I actually don't know either.
One of the, I think it's fascinating. One of the places up here in Alaska, you go clear up north, and you have to fly into it. Did I talk about that city?
What?
City you have to fly into?
No.
I know of some places you have to fly into that you can't get to on land due to all the trees and stuff.
Now this one doesn't even have any roads going into it. The only way you can get into it is fly. Used to be called Barlow. It's famous in a vampire movie. It's changed names. I doubt if I can pronounce its real name now. Officially known as Utqiagvik. I'm sure I'm not even close. Utk. Anyway. The largest city in borough, seat of the north slope of borough in the U.S. state of Alaska. It can't have paved roads due to the weather. Let me click on that. But so to get here, you have to fly to it. You see, they give you your coordinates here. Fascinating town. They have a football team. I think what I'm saying, there's no roads. So what does their high school football team have to do when they go play any game? Have to fly there, yeah. And the amount it costs for groceries is unreal. You're paying like $500 a week groceries.
the cost of living in general higher there?
Yes. Yeah. If you think about it, if you have to fly in your milk in order for you to have milk, flying it on a plane is kind of expensive, isn't it? So everything is super expensive. You may wonder, well, then how do the people live up there? It's oil. That's about everybody who can afford those places is working with the natural resources, harvesting them in some form. Yeah, this is where I always talk about going. Maybe it's that movie, 28 Days of Night or something like that, or nobody into vampire movies.
I watched Lincoln versus Lincoln Bay.
Well, this is a good one because for like 30 days, according to the movie, they're in dark. So vampires, yeah.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yeah, Barlow is the theoretical where it happened. I'm sure it's filmed in California probably. But it's just fascinating that it's dark for that long of a period of time.
Yeah.
Now, the Eskimos obviously can't afford to go down and buy their milk to store like that because they're not working for oil companies and so forth. So they allow, a lot of hunting for them and so forth. They have to. How else would you survive? Anyway. Let's see. It says you may notice the appearance of the United States is distorted. Its shape and area may look strange compared to other maps. You may see an atlas or a published map. This is because the data is being displayed according to its geographic coordinate system and not a common U.S. map projection such as Lambert, conformal, conic. Notice that the northern boundary of the United States, also known as the 49th parallel, is displayed as a straight line. It's not really a straight line, is it?
What is it?
The northern border.
No.
Across Montana, North Dakota. No.
That's not.
It
kind of is until it gets to Minnesota.
I think they're just indicating it's probably a little bit distorted. Alaska has an east-west stretch that's not proportional. And Texas looks much smaller than its actual size. Okay, page 166 tells us to click the preview arrow at the lower left-hand corner of the window. So we click the down here as a preview, and next to it, you do the drop down, and we want to choose table. And here's where it refers to what we talked about earlier, the population change. It says the table has 2000, 2010 population figures for each state, including population per square mile, and change in population per square mile in percentages. So this population change here is based upon percentages, which is deceiving sometimes. And you see it has all 50 states there. What's Kansas?
Kansas 33. Non-bid ID.
33. So it looks like we've had a little bit of increase, haven't we? 5.7%. That's fascinating. Louisiana, 0.9. Is that the smallest? Guess nobody wants to Louisiana, yeah.
After like 2 hurricanes hit in the last 10 years.
And suicide rates. Just going down.
They got a lot of poverty there too. Don't know why. You think that being like a major area where shipping could come in, you think it would have a huge amount of employment opportunities. But, okay. It says, how was a population change attribute calculated? How would you do that?
What was the question?
How to calculate the population change?
You take population from 1 year to another, you take that population, divide it, then you take that's 1.4.
Close. You subtract these. So you subtract your populations, and then you take that amount divided by your original population. And that gives you the percent increase. Next, you will confirm the U.S. state's shapefile has a geographic coordinate system. In the catalog tree, right-click U.S. states.shp, the shapefile. And it wants to choose properties. It says on the shapefile properties dialog box, click the XY coordinate system. So there's XY coordinate system tab here. It says the shapefile properties dialog box shows that the current coordinate system is called GCS North America 1983. This is a common geographic coordinate system for spatial data covering the United States and used by many data providers. Datum it uses is called the D_North_American_1983, NAD 1983. And you see that listed there. And the prime meridian is defined at 0 degrees longitude. It is from this dialog box that the parameters of the coordinate system can be modified. However, we will not be modifying this particular layer. It says, what are the angular units? What are they in? The angular units. Degree? Yeah. And it says what is listed as a prime meridian?
Greenwich.
Yeah.
And
The what?
the Greenwich run, which I think is.
There you go.
I think it runs east and west on north and south.
There are 4 other shapefiles related to this exercise in datafold cities, latitude, longitude, Canada, Mexico, and lakes. Latter 3 shapefiles also have a corresponding layer file that contains a symbolization scheme and a path to source data. You will review the properties of the 3 layers. If you want, you could explore the 4th, but only the first 3 are necessary to show differences between them. So 6, click cancel. Close that. And then we want to go to cities.
Cities touch.
And you can double click it or you can right click on it. Now this comes up and it says that this layer has a geographic coordinate system called GCS, WGS, 1984. There's another popular coordinate system that is in wide use. Since it is different from the coordinate system U.S. states layer, it may not align exactly. ArcMap, however, is designed to make it work. So, even though the fact that they've got different systems here, somehow this will still make it work with how they have it written. What spheroid does this layer use? Yeah. Okay, so cancel that. We then want to bring up the latitude, longitude. So you can double click that to bring up the properties. What system is this using? GCS, North American 1983. Says the data should align properly to the U.S. states later without any coordinate system transformation or projection on the fly. So if you're designing a new map, you'd need to make sure that the coordinate system you choose is one that's supported by whatever package you're using. This is on page 170. Then they talk about the Canada, Mexico. So if you double click Canada, Mexico, it says in our catalog, the coordinate system information can be viewed in data file properties, but not in a related layer file if there is one. Although a preview of Canada, Mexico can be seen, shapefile properties dialog book shows that this layer is not in a geographic coordinate system and simply states it is unknown. How is this possible? Our catalog still shows a preview of the actual data and reads the known feature coordinate values, even though a geographic coordinate system is not defined. If the file is added to ArcMap, it will be drawn but will not be projected because this geographic coordinate system is unknown. You will fix this situation in our catalog. In the preview display, notice that the southern border of Canada has a long straight line. Where's the zoom at? I don't think I see the zoom. Anyway, if you go to preview, was there a way to zoom over in the contents? Well, anyway, they're indicating that this appears like a straight line. Although it may not be the case in every situation, you have now been provided with a hint that Canada and Mexico shapefiles share the same geographic coordinate system as U.S. states shapefile. On the Canada-Mexico shapefiles property dialog box, I didn't say. Oh, shapefile. Okay. So we got our shapefile here. And properties. On the XY coordinate system, click the add coordinate. And which button is that? The little world. It says click the add coordinate and then click import. Browse to chapter 6 data.
US shapes.
And then actually go into data
US
and US states. Yep. And then click add. Now you notice that we got a coordinate system applied down there. See, Canada, Mexico shapefiles now assumes the coordinate system information of the United States. Click OK to accept changes. This is on page 172. And then to close ARC, well, we won't close it because we'll be working with it next. But it says common to find data in all sorts of coordinate system projections and even data that is missing coordinate system information altogether. Learn more about how a shapefile or geodatabase stores coordinate information. Get many good resources online. Okay. Is there any questions on that first part? Now remember what this is all based upon is mapping, isn't it? So projective mapping. And trying to get where you have your different layers that may have different coordinate systems so they are projected and look good on one map. Okay, 173, projecting data. The map you create in this the map you create in this exercise consists of a shapefile of the United States displayed in 3 data frames with a different projected coordinate system for each data frame, one for the mainland states, one for Alaska, one for Hawaii. Data frames will also include other supporting layers, one that shows the latitude and longitude lines, and another that shows Canada and Mexico to complete the look of the map. How is it possible to use one data set in 3 data frames? Once data layers are added to ArcMap, they can be moved and copied between data frames. As you learn in Chapter 3, multiple layers can be created from a single source data set. We saw that. This is more efficient than adding separate data layers with separate projected coordinate systems. In this exercise, you use 3 versions of the Albers equal area conic projection, one for each data frame. Okay, start ARC. Oh, ArcMap. Yeah. We are done with our catalog.
So we're done with our catalog?
For that part. So go to ArcMap.
EX06.
It says open the EX06B. Yeah. Chapter 6.
He signed in with me.
I guess so. But it's good.
That's weird. I signed out last time.
No, it's just there.
Oh, that's weird. That's good because I'm there. Cool.
Azure Press, GTK. There we go. And EX06B. Okay. ArcMap opens a layout that has 3 empty data frames. Alaska, mainland states, and Hawaii. Each data frame is defined by a label in the center. An active data frame is indicated in the table of contents by data frame name in boldface and layout page by a dashed outline. A small legend shows a percentage increase population change is visible in the lower right-hand corner. You will add the U.S. states to each data frame and learn how map projections apply to each one. You also learn how to add other supporting layers. They do a lot of maps like this, don't they, for the United States?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of maps were not designed like they really show on Earth, and at least when I was growing up. So I never really was quite sure where in the world Hawaii was. I knew it was over toward Japan. But yeah, with how they have it on the maps, you never really could tell. Okay, so on page 174, it says add U.S. states layer to the mainframe or mainland states data frame. Use the add data button on the standard toolbar, drag the layer from the catalog window. Okay, so use the add data button on the standard toolbar. Let's see. I don't know if I remember where the add was. Probably has a little plus on it if I had to guess. There. Add data. So from the add data, okay, so choose that, and what do we want? U.S. states.
Layer or ship?
They want the layer. Well, what do they? Yeah, layer.
Okay, and then add the Canada and Mexico.
Yep. Let's go back plus up here. Canada, Mexico layer. I don't think I noticed anything changed. Did I do it?
I'm getting a
Red exclamation point?
yes.
It probably says.
Okay, I just went wrong. I'm gonna redo this entire thing. Alright, back to it.
Doesn't look something about Canada, Mexico.
Yeah, it says if we didn't import a coordinate system for Canada underscore Mexico ship, an unknown spatial reference dialog box will appear because there is no coordinate system information. This is the case for turn 7, 8, and exercise 6. But we should have done.
Maybe I didn't do a save. Let's see our catalog.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got our Canada, Mexico. It says there's a coordinate system on mine. How interesting.
Where do we see that it has a coordinate system?
If you double click the Canada, Mexico shape, then at top, where down at the bottom it says current coordinate system. At the very top it says GCS North America 1983.
Yeah, okay, that's weird.
Interesting.
Is it because it's in a dot shape instead of dot layer? Or does that not matter?
Shouldn't matter.
I just got the dot shape to go on that. I don't think that's what you need.
No.
The layer should point to the shape, so they kind of go hand in hand. I say should, and that's why I'm looking to see if I can see any kind of where the connection is between the two.
Are you getting the red exclamation point as well?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so
See, it's pointing to the right shapefile. If you double click the layer and you go to source, it says the shapefile is that Canada underscore Mexico. The general says show layer at all scales. You see how there's a don't show layer when zoomed?
Yeah.
Now that would potentially be a problem, but not in this case. I don't see anything else that'd stop it from showing. I guess we're not going to show Canada, Mexico. They don't exist.
What? It is so weird it's doing this.
Is it the same coordinate system as the United States? Let's look. What is the United States? United States. Oops. I meant to click the shape file. That's GCS North American 1983. GCS North American 1983. Let me try clearing it. And do import. And choose the United States again. Apply, maybe. Then OK. So if I come over to here, I'm going to remove the Canada, Mexico. And
well, if you just drag the
does dragging it do it?
The Canada _ Mexico .ship the shape. If you just drag it into the on ArcMap, if you drag it into the box, it'll just pop up.
How interesting! Dragging it and then dropping it will actually work. Interesting. Okay. And then they say add lakes layer. I guess dragging and dropping it might be the safe way. Now, if you have this full screen, if you're dragging it, you just put your mouse over the arc map down here at the bottom, and it pops up, and then you can put it here. And where do they want lakes at? Lakes is above United States. Try to get mine to look the same as theirs. Canada should be. Oh, I have two of them. Oh, that's bizarre. My lakes isn't working.
Do you just want to drop the lake stuff shape into the field too?
I did. How interesting. Let me try to drag and drop it again.
This is weird.
Did yours work?
Yeah. Yeah, if I drop the shape into it, but not the layer. The layer just gives me an error. So none of the layers are working.
Maybe delete to Mexico. What did I drag? Okay, Canada, Mexico layer. Let's try that. Yeah, the layer doesn't bring in, does it?
No. But the shape file does.
I don't think that's necessarily a good thing.
No.
Because the layer actually has a lot more information tied to it. But since that's all it'll give us, I guess it's as good as we're going to get.
And you have to add lakes and
Okay, there's our Great Lakes appeared. Does that look right? Where the Great Lakes is located?
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
So they're bordering Canada?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I don't look at maps that much. Okay, so Canada, Mexico's down below. That's right there.
It's a lot long when you do this in the sheets, too. Yeah. Why you know?
Huh.
Stupid little road.
Okay. So lakes is first. Then U.S. states. Latitude, longitude is down below Canada.
Can't see the United States population because it's being covered.
We just do this. We change this. All right, down.
Or you can
Um,
remove the text box.
Says use the measure tool to measure distance to two lines of latitude or two lines of longitude. What's the difference in degrees?
Cities don't fit to a main state data frame. Okay. Add cities. Where do we add to the top layer? Let's see.
There, shut it off. How do you delete those now? Okay.
I don't know. Looks spot on to me.
So it's about 3 degrees? 3.3 degrees?
Don't do a full extent because that just jacked up the map.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Wow, you're correct.
So just did my life.
Oh no.
And that's 4.7 degrees that way?
No, Hawaii's getting covered by Hawaii. Makes no sense, but trust me.
Okay, add city shape to the mainland. Okay, so I'm going to take my cities shape, drop it on where? The mainland states.
Yeah. I added it to the top layer.
Top. Okay.
Makes sense. Warning.
Warning. Alignment accuracy problems arise unless there's a correct transformation between systems. You can use this button to specify or modify the transformation used by this data frame. Let's see what it tells us to do.
Read the messages in the warning dialog box and click close. So just read the warning.
Drops on our major cities. Let's see, on page 178, it says in table of contents, double-click cities. Cities, double-click. On layers property dialog box, layer. All right here. Click the source tab. And look at the data source panel. Shapefile feature class, geometry type is point. Coordinates have z values, no third dimension. Tells us coordinate system. This is a quick verification of cities layers in the GCS WGS 1984 Geographic Coordinate System. You will use an Arc Toolbox tool to transform it to the current from its current coordinate system, the same one as the United States. So click Cancel. On the standard toolbar, click the Arc Toolbox button. So it's one with a little toolbox on it, a little red toolbox. In the Arc Toolbox window, you want to expand Data Management Tools, Projections, and Transformations. Double-click the Project tool to open this dialog box. Click the Input Dataset or Feature Class arrow and click Cities. And what do we want? Cities. Okay. Then the output. Click the Browse button next to the Output dataset. Browse to your Chapter 6 My Data folder. In the name box, type cities underscore GCS NAD 1983.shp, and then click Save. The output coordinate system, click the little box next to it. And on the spatial, you can choose from coordinate systems defined by ArcGIS or another. It tells us to choose the Browse panel, choose the Geographic coordinate systems, expand that. North America folder. Let's go down and click NAD 1983. Okay. Yes.
Oh, you have to click US.
Is that where it's at?
Yeah.
I probably said it. I just didn't read it right.
Where's the properties tab at?
Are you?
I hit save from after typing that deal, and then I don't see the properties.
So like right here when you click OK?
Yeah.
Okay. You're ahead of me then.
No, I'm not there. I'm not there yet.
Oh, you're not there
I
yet?
haven't gotten to that screen. How do I get there?
Oh, over here, once you click project,
Okay.
double click that.
Yeah.
It'll bring this up, and you need to tell it the old shapefile.
Okay, I got there.
And then you tell it the new shapefile by clicking this folder here and giving it a name. And then the output coordinate system, you click the hand with the pointing at a window.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. No, it says North America folder. This little typo looks like. But yeah, you're right. It's in the other one. It says the current coordinate system panel on the spatial reference properties dialog box is updated with new coordinate system details.
NAD 1983. I'm not seeing that.
It's under the territories.
USA. Oh, at least in North America.
Yeah. Yeah, they have that wrong. Then you click OK to close that window. And probably OK to click the other one. Yeah, OK again.
My USA folder just disappeared. Oh,
Find it.
yeah, my USA folder is gone.
I don't have a USA.
Oh wait, there it is.
Find it?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
weird. I'm gonna close out and get back in.
It tells us it's optional. They don't have to be exactly on the same system. Um, it says ArcMap adds a transformed city layer to the map. It may not look much different. I didn't see any difference. But it is a new coordinate system. It's important to remember the new cities layer now shares the same coordinate system as the other layers. And changing the coordinate system of the data frame will not yield the warning messages you saw before.
Nothing different.
No, I didn't see any difference. Okay. It says cloak arc toolbox or move it out of the way. I'll go ahead and close it. And it says in table contents, right click cities. So right click cities and they say click remove. I shouldn't have done that. Undo remove layer. Okay. Now I'm going to right click it. I'm going to remove. Okay, I didn't see any change at all.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it'd shift a little bit because our layer we just added, that shape file we just added, I should say, is that cities GCS NAD 1983, and I was wondering if it'd be moved a little bit. No, it didn't. Okay. Next, you would change the coordinate system of the data frame to project layers on the fly. In table contents, double click the mainland states data frame. On the coordinate system, expand a projected
Projected coordinate system.
the one that just says coordinate system. They show it in a picture, but they call it the projected up above. Then continental.
North America. USA contiguous Albert equal area.
Well, I didn't see what they referred to, but I found a North America folder.
I found it. USA contiguous Albert equal area.
I mean, I didn't see the continental folder.
Oh.
I went to geographic coordinate systems.
Oh, we're supposed to go in for projected coordinate systems.
Oh, okay. It doesn't say that. That's nice.
And then
Oh, okay. Maybe it didn't. I just didn't read it. Projected coordinate. Yeah, it did. Helps actually read. Continent, North America, and they want us to locate USA contiguous. Albers. Area conic. That one there. And then click OK. Okay, so I'm gonna watch my map, see if we see any change. Ah, that's quite a change there, isn't it?
Oh yeah, quite a change. Can't even see my map.
You can't even see your map?
your map disappeared when you did that. What? You probably get your layers mixed up.
I probably do.
Contiguous. And the guy she wants.
Is there any voting?
That is strange.
Why can't I just have like a good luck this time? Oh, it's been, oh, you're Project Fairway.
No, most of your bad luck is in the iOS, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's okay. Coordinate system of the data frame has now changed. Layers projected on the fly to this. The lines of latitude and longitude exhibit a curvature similar to the shape of a cone. It may look more familiar to you. On your menu bar, click Bookmarks, and then Mainland States. Map scale is changed to 1 in 20 million. Layers are centered in the data frame. From here, you begin a process copying data layers to the Hawaii and so forth. Okay, and table of contents. Hold on to Control and click the cities. So hold on to Control, click the cities. Layer, U.S. states layer. In the Canada, let's see that, Canada, Mexico. And click copy. So you right click any of those shadings and you do copy. And then while still in table of contents, right click the Alaska data frame and choose paste. The Alaska data frame, hold down Control and click Canada, Mexico to remove it. Why do they want us to put it there if we're going to remove it? Alaska data frame, hold down Control and click Canada, Mexico. Oh, I see. So you just want these two highlighted is what they're saying. They don't say actually remove it. Then we want to copy that. So right click that, do a copy, go down to Hawaii, right click and paste. Paste layers.
Okay. We remove which ones? Canada, Mexico, and U.S. states.
Yeah, so the ones you should have in Hawaii are the cities in the U.S. states.
Or Alaska or Hawaii?
Alaska, you should have Canada, Mexico in it too.
Okay, so Alaska I should
Have those three.
those three. And then what about Hawaii?
Hawaii doesn't have Canada or Mexico. Because I suppose the maps on that really have no bearing to Alaska.
So delete Canada, Mexico.
Right. Okay, all three data frames now have content in them. The Alaska and Hawaii data frames have the data displayed in GCS North American. Next, you give these data frames map projections specifically designed for these areas of the United States. In table of contents, double-click the Hawaii data frame. On a coordinate system tab, which I'm already at, expand projected. Continental. North American folder. Click Hawaii Albers. Click OK. It says a warning may appear. I didn't see any warning. May appear. Dismiss it and continue the exercise. Layers are projected on the fly. Mainland states look as if they are rotated. What they're talking about is down here in this bottom corner for Hawaii. Canada-Mexico layer was not projected because you won't be able to see it once the map scale and position of the data frame are adjusted. Activate the Hawaii data frame, right-click it, and then click Activate. On the menu bar, click Bookmarks Hawaii. So Bookmarks Hawaii. And now you see it zoom in on just the Hawaii part. And we see our cities, and the state is what gives us our shape definitions. It says repeat the same steps to project Alaska data frame. So we come up to Alaska. You right click on it. Choose Activate. And bookmark Alaska. That doesn't look like Alaska.
No.
I wouldn't say that's very good at all. Oh well. Looks like they don't have that bookmark quite defined correctly. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't change the Alaska data frame.
Oh.
Jeez. I didn't do step 26.
Right click, properties, coordinate system.
Projected. Is it continental?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if.
Alaska Alpers. Okay. Now right click. Okay, now it worked.
Yeah, that looks a lot better, doesn't it? Says they're on your own. Examine other projected coordinate systems could be applied to mainland states data frame. Change the map projections. See how it affects 4 maps. Anyway, we'll just save that. Yeah, go ahead and save that just in case we need it.
Yeah.
You'll have a different computer tomorrow, so.
I exited out.
Or the next class. I have no clue why your map disappeared.
Hey, pal, you want to see a map? Just kidding.
Well, we'll call it quits there.